it had the potential of violating the rights of the citizens to express themselves in the form of demonstrations. I had taken that legal professional view. So I didn't see any reason why I should now come, very much like the cases in which I have said, that because of my strong professional and ethical views about them, I did not see the reason why, just because I have changed position now, I'm the Attorney General, I should continue to prosecute anybody who was involved in those cases. In the case of Democracy Hub, I was not involved professionally, but I took the view that it was a violation of their right to freedom of expression. So those of you look at, Article 33 of the Constitution is, on the enforcement of fundamental, human rights. The exceptions are very, very clear. And you must demonstrate one of those exceptions in order to say that a person cannot, that is 33 clause 5 of the Constitution. Thank you very much. Ken, from Joy News, your first question is the accusation of a clearing agent labeled at His Excellency. Now, if you all recall, the former president, the title, clearing agent, was used to refer to the former president, that is His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. When the term was used, it was rightly used because Nana Addo Dankwa, His Excellency, was directly involved in most of the time, issuing statements, writing letters. I saw the love letter to Cecilia Dapa, stating that he is very, confident that he will be innocent. He will be declared innocent. All right. So that is how Ghanaians labeled him the clearing agent. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama cannot be labeled a clearing agent because, as I've said in my statement, all right, he has not been involved in any decision. I have not briefed him on any of these decisions. All right. I will, at the appropriate time, maybe do a cabinet memo, all right, so that His Excellency and my cabinet colleagues will be formally informed of the decisions that I have taken. All right. Until then, His Excellency remains innocent and stands far away from the decisions that I've taken. And I have told you that I am, taking absolute responsibility for all the decisions. Okay? As the Attorney General, it is my responsibility. If there's any fault in the decisions I've taken, I will take I am taking responsibility, today, and I'll take responsibility in the future.
All you have to do as a good prosecutor, acting in good faith, was to amend the count. The remedy is not a discontinuation of the entire case, especially when that offense of misapplying public property constituted, only one out of 70 charges filed in the case. What happens to the other 69 charges that Dr. Ayine does not fault and did not talk about? With the greatest respect, the state should be seriously worried if her Attorney General demonstrates such ignorance of the basic principles of criminal law and the ingredients of offense, which border on the protection of state funds or public property. The second factor cited by Dr. Ayine for the withdrawal of the Sagleme case is the alleged failure of the prosecution to charge other ministers who took office after Collins Dauda left office. This is another palpable falsehood. The state charged all those whose roles in the Sagleme housing scheme implied criminal liability. This included Kweku Ajima-Mensah, who signed and authorized the payment of money and who was John Mohammed's Minister for Western Housing after Collins Dauda left office until January 2017. It also included a Chief Director, Alhaji Ziblim, who was in office until 2017, covering a part of the tenure of Mr. Atachia as Minister, and signed and authorized payment of money. Dr. Ayine raises issue with the failure to join Honorable Samuel Atachia as an accused person in the matter. It ought to be made clear that the prosecution of crime is not an arena to achieve political equalization. A careful check of the facts would have disclosed to Dr. Ine that Honorable Samuel Atacha never authorized any payment for the Saglame project. Mr. Atacha was rather the one who called attention to the bizarre circumstances of the project and wrote a letter seeking the advice of the then Attorney General, Ms. Gloria Akufo, in or about 2019 for an urgent termination of the contract, a decision which stopped the state from unnecessary financial hemorrhage. The sum of $5 million that Dr. Ine alludes to was authorized to be paid by the then Chief Director, Mr. Solomon Asola, and not Mr. Atacha. The decision by the prosecuting team not to charge Mr. Solomon Asola, but rather to use him as a prosecution witness, was because the Minister for Justice, occurring February 2025. At a press conference, to provide reasons for his discontinuation of certain criminal cases filed against some persons, most of whom are leading members of the National Democratic Congress, NDC, and persons who served in the NDC government that exited office in January 2017. As the public would observe, throughout my tenure as Attorney General Minister for Justice, I never made any comment or passed judgment on the work of any of my predecessors in office, even though I was often at the receiving end of many unsavory remarks from sections of the populace, particularly personalities in the NDC. Since leaving office, I have also stayed clear of subjecting the work of my successor to any form of assessment, leaving that to discerning Ghanaians to do.
Oh, come on!
True nature of who you are. This is why the Ghanaians gave you a vote to commensurate with the numbers you have. Yet you said you haven't learned any lessons. You haven't learned any lessons. You are still walking like this. Talking, you cannot tell us we are a government. Look at the size of the government. Is this a government? Is this a government? This is less than the district assembly size of anything. True nature of who you are. This is why the Ghanaians gave you a vote to commensurate with the numbers you have. Yet you said you haven't learned any lessons. You haven't learned any lessons. You are still walking like this. Talking, you cannot tell us we are a government. Look at the size of the government. Is this a government? Is this a government? This is less than the district assembly size of anything. True nature of who you are. This is why the Ghanaians gave you a vote to commensurate with the numbers you have. Yet you said you haven't learned any lessons. You haven't learned any lessons. You are still walking like this. Talking, you cannot tell us we are a government. Look at the size of the government. Is this a government? Is this a government? This is less than the district assembly size of anything. True nature of who you are. This is why the Ghanaians gave you a vote to commensurate with the numbers you have. Yet you said you haven't learned any lessons. You haven't learned any lessons. You are still walking like this. Talking, you cannot tell us we are a government. Look at the size of the government. Is this a government? Is this a government? This is less than the district assembly size of anything. True.
Government is broke, government is broke. But people are spending billions to go inside the government that is broke. Have you ever seen a minister who resigned because government is broke before? Government has no money. Have you ever seen a governor who said, ladies and gentlemen, when I was elected, I thought the government had money. Now I discover government has no money, I resign. Have you ever seen it? Government has no money, but they are bringing money out at election time. Where is that money coming from? So they are lying. What is happening is that there are two types of wicked people in government. Type 1, they eat current money. Any money they find in government, they will eat it. They are wicked about that one. There is type 2. Type 2, they eat current money and future money. They will say, my term will end next year. When I leave, how will I eat money? Let me borrow money now and borrow money of the future and eat it now.
All right, so it's the 18th of February 2025. You're welcome to the program. It's Good Morning Ghana, and we thank God for giving us today again to discuss the issues of the country. Right, let's go straight through the headlines of the newspapers, and then later we get into the agenda for the day. Daily Graphic says that assigned governance role to chiefs. Dr. Dufour National Education Forum opens today. Ashanti North East elect reps for Council of State. Reset agenda. President names 3 key tasks. Manson Kwanta MP urges government to position Ghana as chocolate hub. Ghanaian Times. No agreement to extend IMF program. President Mahama Dagbon. Overlord pays historic reciprocal visits to Gonja King. Irrigation for wealth creation phase 1. Government targets 10,000 hectares in 8 regions to boost agric production. Professor Salifo Amwakontu, others re-arrested. Yesterday there was so much hullabaloo about this. Oh, they've been discharged, they've been released, their keys have been dropped, or they were re-arrested. Daily Guide. Salifo Amwako wife discharged, re-arrested. Let's position Ghana as global chocolate hub. That's Chinebua Kodia Fukwo. OSP releases Oforiata's wanted poster. 6 charged. 6 charged over payroll fraud. Shama gets new Omahini. That's for Daily Guide. New Crusading Guide says that Ale Johnson, Esiama UNB internal memo. AG Ayeni Nolly Prosecutor was triggered by an unsigned, undated, and unminuted document is a question. AG's Ayeni's Nolly Prosecutor was triggered by an unsigned, undated and unminuted documents. As a question, calm the waters. VRA staff welcome acting CEO. GFA forged chassis numbers to avoid penalties on 9 over aged buses. Okay. GFA forged chassis numbers to avoid penalties on 9 over aged buses. Sashi, Nambro youth threatened to hold Galamsey operations over gun attacks. That's by the New Crusading Guide. The Insight newspaper, angry NDC caucus VRA staff kick against potential appointment of Eko Obeng Kenzo as acting chief executive, cites $52 million sole source procurement scandal, 2023 dam spillage disaster, others. Stay away from 150 acres of Akpomine lands, DAC to trespassers. Evaluation NDC chairman fingered for hot Galamsey destroying water bodies. Mahama turns to the U.S. for military support, drawing backlash amid growing insurgency and regional instability. Archbishop Adonting Boateng set to release about 100 inmates in his home prisons. Daily Post. Richard Jakpa is now Director of Special Operations at National Security Secretariat. Mahama clears Akufo-Addo and Bawumia's mess. Settles 6 billion Ghana cedis DDEP coupon. OSP releases wanted notice for Ken Oforiatta. NPA boss tours fuel installations in Tema. Well, that's it for the headlines this morning on the newspapers I have in front of me. We'll take a breather. Be back shortly.
Experience the enhanced protection of Star Motor Third Party Extra from Star Assurance, an enhanced motor third party insurance policy that provides cover for loss or damage to your vehicle's windscreens, side mirrors, back glass, and other glass components. Whether it's a crack or major damage, you can drive with the assurance that your vehicle is well protected. Our commitment to you includes affordable coverage options and a claims process that is both fast and straightforward, so you spend less time dealing with paperwork and more time on the road. Also, we have proudly partnered with Hope for Little Lives, an organization dedicated to supporting children in need. By choosing Star Motor Third Party Extra, you're protecting your vehicle and making a positive impact. Every policy you buy helps bring joy and support to children in underserved communities. Reach out to us now on our toll-free numbers 0800-177-177 or 0302-245-906 to sign up. Let us help you drive with peace of mind and purpose. Star Motor Third Party Extra. Drive with confidence, give back with heart.
Star Assurance, your solid partner.
You're the answer to my prayer. You're with me everywhere. You're my angel, miracle. You're all I need tonight. Give me shelter from the rain. You breathe life in me again. You're my angel, miracle. You're all I need to know tonight.
Sometimes the unexpected happens and the hero falls down in his own story. But he needs not stay down for long. Cosmopolitan Health Insurance is your trusted health partner. Whether an individual building a business, with Cosmopolitan Health Insurance, your medical care is our concern. For the best health insurance solutions for corporate institutions, groups and associations, families and individuals, choose Cosmopolitan Health Insurance from our over 700 accredited health service providers nationwide. Call us on 0302 540 668 or 0501 678 547 for all your health insurance solutions. Cosmopolitan Health Insurance, your medical care is our concern.
Ama, nansi mi jeno wo bin enkoye kwao. Ama ma ye bohu se kontomra akija.
Nansi me hu se me nyo basima kura. Ama me kunu ni me into kwankwa. Oh, you right. Enye mo ko. Give us GC mixture and any capsules. Aye num boom. En ho asem na mo kana. E boa emma ene meme nyina. Ne ma wo ba ye obesima. Na be ma so aye bemasima. Ya, we be boa wo kunu. Ama ne giant sa wo de hye ni botum. Na wanyinya ne nti sese ni oyi chokmo. GC mixture and capsule. Achesa.
A painful about one more menu for one and Quada when you feel to me.
In an era where fire safety is paramount, Kabore Foam Compound Technologies Limited stands out as a leader in the development of innovative fire dousing solutions. With a focus on aqueous film forming foam, the company provides a cutting-edge product that significantly enhances fire suppression capabilities across various sectors, including maritime, industrial and emergency response.
The oil and gas sector, along with chemical manufacturing facilities and fire services.
Kabore's advanced film technology offers a more efficient and environmentally responsible alternative.
Kabore is recognized for its superior extinguishing capabilities and prolonged resistance to reignition. Kabore's product is certified by the Ghana National Fire Service, the Ghana Standards Authority, the Environmental Protection Agency, and the Nigerian Standards Organization.
Kabore Foam Compound Limited is situated in Nsawam within the eastern region of Ghana. For inquiries, reach out to them on 0245 885 288 or 0244 514 048. You may also contact them via email at info@kaborefoam.com. Kabore Foam Compound Technologies Limited, providing foam compound solutions to help institutions.
Look around.
Should home also need a makeover?
Mine clearly does. So we went to Ashroom and found the Como collection. It had everything we're looking for and more. Merchant furniture for the entire home, designed with you in mind.
Where's Como collection? Dressing up is just a breeze. Always ready with a perfect accessory.
A magic dressing mirror. One look and you're ready to face the world. Or at least the kids.
A bed perfect for young men who want
a table that turns into a treasure chest.
And finally, a sofa with this grand TV unit for family time at home.
Head over to any Ashfoam store now and discover the new Como collection. Ashfoam, feel it, know it.
all he had to do as a good prosecutor, acting in good faith, was to amend the count. The remedy is not a discontinuation of the entire case, especially when that offense of misapplying public property constituted only 1 out of 70 charges filed in the case. What happens to the other 69 charges that Dr. Ayine does not fault and did not talk about? With the greatest respect, the state should be seriously worried if her Attorney General demonstrates such ignorance of the basic principles of criminal law and the ingredients of offense, which border on the protection of state funds or public property. The second factor cited by Dr. Ayine for the withdrawal of the Sagleme case is the alleged failure of the prosecution to charge other ministers who took office after Collins Dauda left office. This is another palpable falsehood. The state charged all those whose roles in the Sagleme housing scheme implied criminal liability.
Elton, we'll carry the media along when we are ready to disclose the nature of his involvement in these investigations. When we started, it was 4, but by last week, it had become 5. So we're still opening it up. The more we go into it, the more we see things. So when we are ready to state, you know, we either come here to address you or we put it by way of publication on our website or directly to the media. Yes, indefinite medical review. We are not without the milk of human kindness to appreciate and reckon a person's medical condition. But when you conduct yourself in a certain way to suggest that all you are doing is just a ruse and that you have no intention of returning to the jurisdiction, that is the conclusion we have come to. You see, as I said, the first communication to us was clear, that he was away indefinitely from the jurisdiction on medical grounds. Then we pushed further. You cannot tell us that you've gone out of the jurisdiction on medical grounds on your say-so. If you're a serious law enforcement agency, would you just take a person's declaration that, oh, I am so much an invalid that I'm unable to come? You demand, Elton, you demand to know more, right? And that is exactly what we did. So we pushed. The response that came was unconvincing. That he may, at some future time, undergo possible surgical procedure. And I said something which is very crucial. There's intelligence available to us, which we do not want to reveal now because it may compromise the investigation. That tells us that, and that's what I stated, that it is just a ruse, that he can travel to the jurisdiction. It's not as if he comes to the jurisdiction, we'll promptly lock him up and throw the key away. It is a process we go through. This is a democratic institution with very well prescribed constitutional and statutory legal processes. So what do you fear coming in to answer questions? You can reschedule your appointments in such a way that you can come in and go. We will not say you should stay and die at all costs. What kind of persons will we be? So that is not the issue. The issue is your expressed intention that you've gone away definitely. What do you have to show for it? We get a purported medical letter, a very sketchy one, which tells us that you have scheduled appointments which you need to attend and that you are being reviewed, and there are some future dates you would maybe undergo some surgical procedure. For us, this is unconvincing. And as I stated in my briefing, the letter doesn't say you are so much of an invalid that you can't complain and travel to the jurisdiction. We all fall sick at some point, and we all go seek medical attention wherever. But if you are not at the point of death, if you are not bedridden, if you are not on a stretcher, this is a ruse, and we are unconvinced. As far as we are concerned, he just doesn't want to return to the jurisdiction voluntarily, and we have given him the chance so to do voluntarily, failing which we will pull him to Ghana. Yes, sir. All right, let me answer. As I said, it makes the memory fresher. Sir, your hand has been up perpetually. Next one is to you. I see he's giving the microphone to you already. So, Right, your first question. Your intention to leave the jurisdiction indefinitely does not stop us from requiring your presence. You are a citizen of Ghana. You were a public officer. You were a finance minister for a very long time. And if you have decided to go away indefinitely, that is your personal decision. But when a law enforcement agency wants you physically in, you have to show up. You do not have...
All right, you're welcome back. Just some few excerpts of what has happened so far with the Attorney General, with the former Attorney General, and of course, Kisia Jabeng, who still has issues with the former Finance Minister as he goes on with investigating his corrupt deals that are on this table. But let me just remind you that Blue Jeans drink is still on the market. It has been on the Ghanaian market for over 20 years. We already know what it does for the body. It contains many vitamins and nutrients in it, like vitamin B2, B3, B6, B12, as well as taurine and guarana, which are known to boost your strength and energy, as well as promote high performance and endurance. Blue Jeans energy drink has also been tested and tried. We know it, and we testify that is indeed the best. Blue Jeans is for the bold and active men. So for bulk purchase, it's nationwide. For bulk purchase, please contact Budget Cash and Carry Limited on 020-812-8190 or 05500-10000. I'll also remind you that there is some emergency meeting being called by a group of people. Honorable Austin Gummy, the Traditional Council and Chiefs and Queen Mothers of Volo are inviting all Volo citizens living in Accra, Tema, Ashaiman, Kaswa, Jopong, Bong, Adeso, Koforidua, and Cape Coast to an emergency meeting at St. Mary International School premises near the Ashaiman Night Market at 11 a.m. on Saturday, the 22nd of February 2025. So please take note. Those living around Volo, that's Volo citizens, please just be... for purposes of emphasis, Volo citizens living in Accra, Tema, Shaman, Kaswa, Jopong, Bon, Adeso, Koforidua, and Cape Coast to an emergency meeting on Saturday, the 22nd of February 2025. The purpose is to discuss an urgent matter which cannot be postponed. Okay, so come prepared to enable us have a conversation about the way out of these looming trouble. They describe the problem as a looming one. So all Volo, citizens, you want to be a part of this meeting on the 22nd of February 2025. Okay, so the venue again is St. Mary International. St. Mary International. All right. We'll be reminding you again. But let me now welcome the guests of the program to you this morning. I already have one with me in the studio, and he's just joined us after some many years of being away from the program. I'm sure he can explain where we introduce him to you. So, lawyer Abraham Amaliba, a very old friend, he's resurfaced on the show. And he's now our acting director for Road Safety Authority. He's actually been appointed by President Mahama as the acting director for, Director General, for the Road Safety Authority. He's also, I'm told, the director for dispute resolution for the NDC as a political party. And he's with us in the studio. Lawyer Abraham Amaliba, you're welcome. And
thank you for having me.
Good morning to you.
Good morning to you and your viewers.
Thank you. Been hearing from you, been hearing about you, but you've been away.
Not from here. I think when you were first Sky TV.
Yes.
And so. Yes. So I built a relationship with you long ago.
Many years ago.
Not now.
Many years ago.
But I'm now, like you indicated, with the Road Safety Authority. And clearly, our mandate is to promote and educate pedestrians and educate motorists on the safe use of our roads. And so that's what I'm now doing. But there are two issues in road safety that I always want to highlight, which is driver indiscipline and pedestrian indiscipline. Most people think that it's only drivers who are indisciplined, but the pedestrians too are also indisciplined sometimes. So I've decided that my tenure will focus on these two: driver indiscipline and pedestrian indiscipline. If we are able to reduce this and instill discipline in the drivers and as well as those of us who use the roads, the accidents will reduce drastically. So that is my new job now.
When you took office, what was the most pressing? Yes, you have an agenda, but what was the most pressing challenge that you saw? First of all, with the Road Safety Authority and what our roads look like. I know I've seen you in a video talking about road markings. Mm-hmm. I also have a personal issue. In fact, if people have been following this show, normally I will raise issues about street lights. Mm-hmm. And I don't know what the problem with street lights is. Someone was talking to me about Dubai. You know, when you're going to Dubai, that's if you've flown to Dubai before. Mm-hmm. You see that before you land, you see there are light, I don't know if I should call it designs or trackings, but you see the lines and they appear yellowish and it's so beautiful. The person was telling me that it's very deliberate for the Dubai Authority to use those colored lights because they also give a certain view, especially when you're in the sky and you're flying, and it gives you some idea of how the landscape actually looks like. And in Ghana, what we use is LED lights, and the LED lights, they don't last long. I don't know the technicalities involved in that, but they said they don't last long. Yeah, so, but what is our problem really with street lights and all those challenges, road markings that we lack in this country?
I think the Road Safety Authority is a regulator. It's not as if we are supposed to do these things. We regulate the Highways Authority, urban roads, feeder roads, mm-hmm. as well as the street lighting, and then that will be ECG. Yeah. ECG, you know, when you pay your electricity bill, there's a component that goes for street lighting. Mm-hmm. So it's the ECG that is responsible for the street lighting. Our responsibility is to identify it if they are not doing it.
Is it ECG or Transport Ministry?
No, the roads,
the street lights.
The street lights, yeah. Because when you pay your money, you don't pay to Transport Ministry.
Okay.
You pay when you pay your bills, embedded in the bills is the street lighting.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Yes, but they are supposed to provide the power.
Yes.
For the lights.
Exactly.
But who provides the light itself?
You mean the bulbs?
Yes, the bulbs.
Okay.
The whole technology of the lights.
Yeah, so that's what you are talking about.
Yes.
That is the ministry.
The Transport Ministry.
Yes.
Okay.
So I've taken over. I'm going to have a meeting with these organizations. And when I went out, like you indicated, I saw that our streets were poorly marked. Where there are markings, they are faded. In some instances, street markings are not there at all. Then you also had the absence of zebra crossings, mm-hmm. which makes it difficult for pedestrians to cross the road because they cross at any point of the road and you have knockdowns. We realized also that there were no footbridges, but now I can tell you that government has given contract to contractors to provide street, footbridges.
Footbridges.
So footbridges are increasing in the city, in the capital. Our major problem is the night, like you indicated, the mm-hmm. lack of illumination. And that is also another area that I'll be tackling. We are yet to go out onto the streets in the night. We did that for the day. We'll do one for the night, and then we'll be able to determine which areas that needs attention. But it appears most part of Accra is dark in the night, and that's not good for road safety at all.
When you did a review, what do you think accounted for or has accounted for this challenge that we faced? I mean, there are some areas you don't even expect that it be dark. For example, the Mahama Road. I mean, because of where I live, I use the Mahama Road a lot. Right from Palace all the way through the Mahama Road, off that security zone, it's all dark.
And yet there are street lights. You can see.
Yes, you can see that. Yes,
you can see the road infrastructure.
Exactly.
You can see the infrastructure there.
Right.
But the light, the illumination is absent.
Yes.
So that's my next, and I'll meet those of them who are responsible for these things. And so there's going to be a meeting next week of all those agencies that are responsible to ensure that our roads are safe.
So you're meeting who and who and who?
So roads, Highways Authority, urban roads, feeder roads, and then the ECG. Let's know from their angle whether they provide a light, but yet the illumination is not done. So we need to get that from them. I'm also meeting Okada people. Don't forget that the Mahama administration has indicated we're going to legalize Okada. So I'm meeting them on Thursday, tomorrow rather. Today I'm meeting the transport operators. Then I'll meet Okada. We are built to go to Rwanda to study the Rwanda situation. Rwanda has one of the best Okada systems. I'm told Rwanda and Dubai. But I think we want to go to Rwanda. And very soon a bill will be sent to Parliament which would remove that provision in the law that says Okada is illegal, so that we can license the Okada riders to start. But before then, we'll give them education on or sensitization on road safety.
Are you collaborating with DVLA?
That's so.
Because I mean, the new boss
yeah.
texted me the other time. No, he texted actually on the show and told us how they were planning to go to Rwanda. The same story.
Exactly, that's the same team.
Okay.
So we would train them. For the training in terms of riding, DVLA will do that. But we will be responsible for sensitizing them on safe use of the road. Sometimes you see the motorists trying to meander their way through a number of vehicles. We think that is dangerous for they themselves.
It's actually against the law.
Exactly. So we are going to train them in that. We are also going to identify them with uniforms.
Okay.
So we're going to
set a special school for motor riding licensing.
They will be given a separate license by DVLA. So DVLA and road safety is partnering to ensure that this is done. So some of the things I'm talking about will be for DVLA, some are for us. We would also identify them with either their company or their names on the helmet. When you put on the helmet,
okay,
then we'll identify you. If it's a company you are riding for, it will be on the helmet.
Then you have to be forced to wear the helmet you have to be identified.
Exactly. Then you have to also, there is a next one I just forgot, but we would need to also provide them with the gear.
The riding gear.
Riding gear. So all these are in place, and we want to implement it very soon.
The gears, are they going to purchase themselves?
Those who are mooting the idea are of the view that initially it should be free, but there will be operational cost. And so it's not everything that will be free. I think it will be at a reduced cost. The operational cost would also require that they pay a little token. But there's this idea that, look, when we are starting, let's just do everything free of charge for them. I don't know how the government can step in to take care of the operational charges. So
I don't know if that's advisable. I mean, can government really take up that burden too? There's so much government is faced with now. We're dealing with GDP. Our government is trying to raise money. So no, the freebies probably must reduce.
Yeah, but they're also dealing with a group of people who are below the ladder.
The average.
So you want to put a human face to it. I'm not conclusive on these matters. These matters need further discussion. Yes, they are not conclusive. Yeah.
How about accidents? I know that some of these matters, feed into accidental cases that will record.
In the last week, we've had a series of accidents which has claimed lives.
Very serious ones.
One in the Volta, one in the Central, and one, I think, in the Northeast. All this came to my attention. We have issued a statement I think yesterday, my corporate affairs managers issued a statement on it. I think the problem, and that's one of the reasons why I'm meeting them today, the operators today.
Yeah.
Because it's becoming one too many. I'm not sleeping on the job. So immediately I saw last week what was happening, I've called them today for a meeting. And so together we'll put our heads together and see what we can do. Normally on long distance journeys, you are supposed to have 2 drivers.
Yeah.
To be alternating. But it appears they are not doing this. And don't forget, we have the capacity under the law to, as it were, if you are not complying with something that we have said you should do, we'll issue you with what is called compliance notice. If you don't, we can sue you in court. So I think for a long time, I'm not sure even for a long time, I'm not sure that in the history of road safety, we have taken these drastic measures before by, issuing compliance notices and also going further to sue agencies that have failed in their responsibility so as to curb the tide of accidents.
I was
I am going to do that this time. That's why I've told everybody that as a lawyer, that's what I can do. I'm not a farmer where I can be providing them with food to eat. My job is to apply the laws.
Ensure sanity.
Exactly. So very soon you will hear some compliance notices, and I'll put it public. If it is a particular company, it's a particular operator that is not complying, I'll issue the notice. And that's also like to name and shame, And then if you are not complying, passengers will know that this particular group of drivers are not complying. I would think that subsequently I'll meet with the truck drivers, their unions. They are parking on roads, particularly at bus stops.
Okay.
Leaves much to be desired.
That reminds me. I brought to light on my social media platform what the situation was like when I attempted visiting the new Cocoa Board boss, Dr. Randy Abbey. And I almost turned back. I couldn't even turn back because of the situation.
Yeah.
And I realized that, the traffic situation had moved all the way to CMB traffic lights. So in my mind or in my analysis, you see that during the festivities, the market springs up, or when it springs, you see that it expands. So they move and they do bigger things. When the season goes down, they stay. So they keep moving and moving and moving. Very soon, I'm sure they will get to the Adabaka police station. That's the traffic situation. He explained that sometimes even ambassadors, international visitors and partners will visit the office, but they have to go through that hell before. And that's so embarrassing, to him.
Sometimes, because of the crowd and the way that place is congested, you may even miss
your turn.
Returning to the office. Yeah. So I know about what you are talking about. And those are the things that I want to address. Is it that the MMDs, that's the local authorities, the Accra Metropolitan Assembly, has not provided them with adequate parking spaces, or is it that they themselves are recalcitrant? So that's why I'll hold a meeting with them.
So there are two major things, especially in that area, because you said the truck drivers have been parking at bus stops or some areas they're not supposed to be parking. What I observed is, first of all, there's food on the ground. That's in the middle of the road.
A market.
So the foodstuffs are there: tomato, clothing, yams, everything you can buy from the market is in the middle of the road.
Yeah.
Now, apart from the food items and clothing items, there's also the truck drivers who park in the middle of the road and load. And you know what's interesting? The police officers are there.
Also there.
The intelligence I picked is that the police officers will actually help them load. Then they take their tape from them. Then they go. So why you have police supervising over such impunity, I don't get it.
Fortunately, I'm meeting the MTTD boss tomorrow. No, Thursday. That one is Thursday. And he's coming to my office. I'll rope in all these discussions that we are engaging in now. But it is also wrong to turn the streets or the high islands of the street as a marketplace.
Not even the islands, the street itself.
The street itself. Yeah. So fine.
The streets, because you see that medians.
Yeah.
The streets have medians. The medians are full. The street is where the cars are. In fact, if you're not careful, you drive on someone's road.
Yeah, I'm aware.
That's how it
so
that's how bad it is.
we need a collaborative effort. The AMA, the MTTD, and then road safety must ensure that we deal with the matter there. I can't foresee government abandoning the cocoa board building and have to build a new one somewhere because of just that issue. Because that is a huge building, and I think that we need to save it. And I'm not going to sleep on it. We'll deal with it.
My fear is that if they move out, we will abandon the building. I know Ghana.
Oh yeah, we'll abandon.
We're very likely to abandon the building, which shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Which shouldn't be. Yeah. Anyway, what's the work of Parks and Gardens in all of this? What's the role?
I've not seen in my handing over that we have some collaboration with the Parks and Garden. I think Parks and Garden will be dealing with beautification of the city.
Exactly.
And I don't know, on the streets, are you talking about the median? What would Parks and Garden use it for?
Yes.
I think Parks and Garden is about the beautification of the city. Most of the lands have also been taken away. The resting places where people used to go, when you walk in town, you are tired, you can rest, all have been taken away by builders. So I think they have little to do in terms of road safety in my department. Yes, unless if they are hearing and they think that they have a role to play, they can get in touch with me.
Okay, all right. Let's get into the issues, but let me also announce that I'm expecting Mr. Daddy, who will be with us shortly in the studio, just so we understand the work and how Lawyer Malaba is going to be working. Lawyer, are you going to be starting your, what's it called, 24-hour soon at the Road Safety Authority?
You mean whether my work is connected to 24-hour economy? We are supposed to be on the roads and as it were, observing road safety 24 hours. Normally, we will send some traffic wardens out to assist the police. If the structure is put in place, the 24-hour structure is put in place, we can look at where we will better fit in, and then we'll adopt it. And if it means employing more people to do that, and if that would go a long way to reduce accidents on our roads, we'll buy into it and take part.
But you're already doing road safety 24 hours though.
That's what I'm saying. We'll look at the aspects that maybe we need to employ more. In our case, I've taken over an organization which is not so lucrative in terms of its revenue. It doesn't even have revenue. We rely on the road fund. And so staff attrition is also high.
Okay.
So we need to, and I've signed a letter just yesterday for financial clearance so that we can employ more people to assist us. So we'll look at all these things.
All right. We wish you all the best on that.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
So let's get into legal matters, and then maybe subsequently we go into financial issues as well. There's a release that's coming from the presidency that President Mahama directs Ministry of Finance to settle DDEP coupons and build debt buffers through sinking fund. He is hoping to, generate the sinking fund that will also help in clearing some of these debt. That will be a matter, we'll touch on it later. But let me give you an update. Yesterday we went through the issue of discontinuation or the entering of nolle prosequi by the Attorney General, dropped about 7 cases already, and held a press conference. Well, he was not constitutionally obliged, but he held a press conference and explained to Ghanaians. Now, after his explanation, followed the former Attorney General, Godfrey Dame, who also came to hold his press conference and described the press conference of the Attorney General, Mr. Ayeni, as a sham, and also gave his explanations to it. I'm sure we have some of the flyers. We can go through some issues that came up, especially with the cases that were dropped and the reasons that were assigned to it. Now, there's a development that has come. Okay, do we have those flyers? Or the infographics that we did? Okay, not this one. I just want the infographics of Attorney General's own first, reasons that were assigned yesterday, so some of the reasons here. So these are the cases. Okay, so we have the Collins Awuda one, former Minister for Works and Housing, charged with accounts of causing financial loss to the state in relation to the controversial $200 million Saglemi housing project. Let's move to the next one, number 2. We have Dr. Johnson Esiama, former second deputy governor of the Bank of Ghana, well, whose issue anyway has come up with the controversy surrounding the memo that was there, that was not there. I am not sure what happened, but he was charged with facing charges alongside with Dr. Kwamna Dufo over alleged dishonest spending of funds belonging to customers and investors of the defunct Unibank Ghana Limited. Let's move on to the next one. Ernest Thompson, former Director General of SNITS, also charged with financial impropriety and causing financial loss to the states in relation to the $6 million SNIT operational business suite OBS project. Let's move on to the next one. Kaselato Forsin, another high-profile case, former Deputy Finance Minister. That was his capacity then. And the businessman Richard Jakpa, and they were charged with causing financial loss to the state to the tune of 2.37 million euros to the state over the procurement of 30 defective ambulances for Ghana's National Ambulance Service. The next one, we have also Dr. Stephen Kwabena Opuni, former CEO of Kokoport, and businessman Seidu Agongo of 27 counts, including defrauding the states by false pretense, willfully causing financial loss to the states. It had to do with this fertilizer controversy, and you know that case lasted the longest. And then we have a next one, Oliver Bakavomo issue, Fix the Country activism that has to do with Galamsey activities. And, you know, we have shifted the Galamsey issues into this government as well. The focus is on them. What are they doing? We've seen the burning of some excavators already. And then we also have Democracy Hub anti-Galamsey protesters. The protest also brought in some issues, and 53 protesters, including Oliver Bakavomo, Ama Governor, and Felicity Nelson, my friend, were all detained. So these are the reasons on ethical and professional considerations. The next one is the defective charges, and according to the Attorney General. The third one is on insufficient evidence, according to the Attorney General. Subsequent ones, we have transparency and accountability issues that the Attorney General, Dominic Ayeni, also raised. Okay, so we also had issues raised by the former Attorney General, Godfrey Dami. But let's move on to a development that has come. A development that has come on this matter. And that has to do with another lawyer, Vincent Assefa, who is a regular guest on this platform. He has written to the RTI for some information to be given to him. So we can have Vincent's own now. It says, AG discontinued cases. Vincent Assefa Esquire seeks transparency, triggers RTI. Pursuant to the Right to Information Act 2019, Act 989, I write to formally request access to all memos and official correspondence from the Prosecution Department to the Attorney General, that's the former Attorney General, which instructed or recommended the discontinuation of specific cases through the filing of noli prosequi. Specifically, 1, copies of all memos, letters, and internal communications sent from the Prosecution Department to the former Attorney Generals regarding the discontinuation of cases. 2, any written justification, legal opinions, or accompanying documents explaining the rationale for these decisions. And then 3, a list of the specific cases affected by these memos. So this request is made in the public interest to promote transparency, accountability, and good governance in the administration of justice. I kindly request that this information will be provided within the statutory time frame stipulated under under 989. Should there be any applicable fees for processing the request, please provide the necessary details for payments. And that is by lawyer Vincent Assefa, who is also seeking for transparency and therefore has proceeded for the RTI to be triggered so he can get access to information, because the Attorney General had explained the reasons for cancellation of some of these cases, and some were, made reference to by citing memos that we are not sure where the memo situation stands as it is today. All right. Let me come into the studio. Okay, we have Ernest Adade who's joining us now. Ernest, you're welcome. Good morning to you. All right. So lawyer, I'll start off with you. This is the new development. Let me just see if I can forward it to you, but it's just come to me or to my desk. So I thought that we should attach it to all the, discussions that we've been having. All right. So I guess you have it now. Adade, you must have it, or you don't.
Which one?
Vincent Assefa was writing to the RTI. You don't have it?
Let me pull it.
Okay, so I've just also sent it to you, just in case you don't. All right. So in brief, what we're saying that Vincent Assefa, who is a lawyer, has also written to the RTI seeking to, retrieve some information and documents from the office of the former Attorney General with relation to some of these memos that have been mentioned in the cases, especially Dr. Siama's case. That has brewed some controversy because we're told that there was a memo that ordered for the discontinuation of that case, but that was not heeded to by the former Attorney General. All right. Maliba.
Yes. I think we are in a democracy. A democracy allows for some of these things to be done. I also am aware some information reaching me indicates that those memos have been shredded by the outgoing administration. So we wait to see the outcome of this memo. But also, don't forget that the Attorney General's power to withdraw and to enter a nolle prosequi cannot be questioned. So it's not as if this information is given, it can turn over the Attorney General's. In fact, the Attorney General was just magnanimous to even be talking to us. He has no business talking to us at all. So I don't know to what end that this request of information is meant to be, but we're in a democracy. He's allowed to do what he did or he's doing. I think that for the first time, and that's what Tony or Dame didn't understand. For the first time, we had an Attorney General who, after exercising his power to withdraw and also to enter a nolle prosequi, decided to meet the press. We are not saying that this is the first time an explanation is given. Godfrey Dame sought to say that, during his time, there were explanations given. That's not what we are saying. We are saying this is the first time. In your time, you issue statements, giving reasons, fine. But this is the first time that an Attorney General meets the media and says, throw any question to me, I'll answer. And he says that he did that based on the fact that in a democratic society such as ours, you will need to let the people know and carry the people along. And he didn't also want his discretion to be seen as arbitrary. And that's why he did what he did. So we need to commend him for that. But Godfrey Dame's tenure in that ministry was a terrible one. And so I thought that he would just keep quiet and then have his rest. He's no more in power He's no more Attorney General, focus on his private practice, and be who he is. But when he decided to respond to Dominic Ayine, he opened himself up for attacks. This is an Attorney General who, for the first time in our history, was reprimanded by a judge to stay away from a case, the Jakwa case. Justice Ifya admonished the Attorney General to stay away from the case because of the shenanigans that we heard he engaged in that conversation with Jakwa. This is the first time an Attorney General is seen to be coaching a witness. And that witness was not even for the state, but for the defense. And we all heard Godfrey Dame say that he's under pressure by this same Ken of Odata that you people are having sympathy for. And the president, he's under pressure from them to nail Atuforson. Never in our history, as lawyers, have we seen an Attorney General so neck deep in such unprofessional conduct. So for him to come and be pontificating, and mind you, he's a student of Dominic Ayine, and I expected him to give Dominic that due respect. But he came out all gun blazing. You see? So, if you take one of the cases, let's even leave the Jakpa one and Atuforson one. Take the case of Agongo and Co. See how that case was so murky when Clement Onyenuga was handling the matter. And Clement Onyenuga never had opportunity to sit in the Supreme Court to deal with matters of the Supreme Court. He spent all his promotion life to the Supreme Court on this matter. And you saw how the lawyers cried foul at the way he was handling the case. At a point in time when Clement Onyenuga left they went to the Supreme Court, Court of Appeal, and the court said that the case should start de novo. You know about that. Yeah. Godfrey Dame refused, went to the Supreme Court, I think so, and then overturned that decision. As an Attorney General, you are supposed to ensure justice to... When the judge was transferred. That judge was even transferred. Yeah. That's another thing. That judge was transferred because he said that I'm going to start de novo. I need to look at the case demeanor holistically. Yes. You know, I need to look at it because in criminal cases, the demeanor of the witnesses counts. And we all thought that was the best thing to do, particularly when with Onyenuga, there were a lot of controversies. So, if you are a new Attorney General and you take over office, you don't want to embroil yourself in such controversies. You want to start on a clean sheet. So I don't know, and I heard him say, Godfrey Dame say that, this is meant to clear NDC appointees. When he took over, they have never cleared MPP appointees. The question to ask is, when they took over, did we have in our courts frivolous charges against MPP people? Did we? We didn't have in our court, when they took over, who in the MPP was being prosecuted in the courts? On frivolous charges. On frivolous, yes, on frivolous charges. Who was there? For you, if somebody was there and was being prosecuted in that manner, that is when we would have tested whether you would do that or not. But it didn't come to meet that. So you can't be talking about that when they came, they didn't discontinue cases against the MPP. So, it is a CFO's right But he should also know that the AG right to discontinue, withdraw, or even enter a null prosecutor cannot be questioned. So I don't know what he wants to achieve with this. But we are also aware there's an email trail which maybe his right to information request may provide him.
Have you seen that email trail?
No, I'm told by
The Attorney General.
those in the office.
Okay.
But the memo itself has been shredded, I'm told. In answering his information, right information questions, I'm sure the email trail will also show that aspect, which says that the matter should.
Why are you, as in lawyers in this government are insisting and are so sure that the memo has been shredded, and they use the word shredded? Who saw it being shredded?
Well, I'm in my office now. I'm not there alone. I have secretaries. And when memos come to me, they know it has come. In fact, they bring it. They actually bring it. So if they can't trace it, either you've taken it home or it has been shredded, or they in the offices would have seen you shredding it. And so the information is not difficult to get because you are not in that office alone. You are working with people. And so that's how come sometimes the information can leak. Yeah.
Okay. Ernest. Morning.
This is a request on RTI, right?
Yes.
So what it means is that...
In fact, they are filing at the Supreme Court today.
Yes. So he wants more information. If I got my brother Maliba right, some of the documents have been shredded. And I don't know how come a case that is still running, documents regarding that case will be shredded. But this is what Vincent is asking for. So whatever other documents that are available must be made available to him, right? By the law. That's what the law says. If they are not available and somebody might have done the wrong thing by shredding it, I don't know the basis upon which somebody will shred documents that are in respect of a case that is still pending. Then maybe he may further seek clarification on this. Now, when the NDC as a party is speaking, people have forgotten because it's been quite long since they themselves used the statement of probity, accountability, and social justice. I always remember that. A lot of our younger brothers and sisters do not remember that. But if these cases that are being declared or are being cleared by a more senior clearing agent, a very, very, very senior clearing agent, then you will realize that something is wrong. These are cases that are in the interests of the people. But my big learned lawyer just said that some cases are frivolous. I don't know why a case of somebody who might have supervised such huge losses within the banking sector that threatened the very existence of the banks in this country. And I have said it on various platforms that if you look at some of the charges that I don't know whether they are part of what he referred to right now as frivolous, some of the charges are people who have superintended over the financials of this country, the banking sector of this country. And so much money had gone down the drain, I mean, because before 2015 and 2016, when some of these banking institutions were receiving a bailout from the state, you realize that before the Bank of Ghana will give out a bailout, what it means is that the monies that those people had either gone down, so much depleted that without a support from the state, they won't be able to work. If they don't work, people are going to lose money. That is, the depositors are going to lose money. The confidence in the banking system is going to be affected. In fact, the economy itself is oiled by the banking sector. That's where we are getting money from to finance our projects and all that. And these banks and savings and loans have run out of the monies that the depositors have given to them. If you read the report referenced some insider dealings and other things that were even illegal.
Which report?
The banking sector
cleanup report.
Okay. That the Bank of Ghana released gave us impressions of people having to spend monies that do not belong to them to buy property outside this country and all that. People took money and reinvested it in other businesses.
Which report is that?
I mean, the banking sector cleanup report
said that
from the Bank of Ghana. Yes.
It's
clear that I haven't mentioned any name. I'm referencing what you said.
Is the one who bought houses?
No, I didn't say Asiama. You said the cases were frivolous.
So we are talking about Asiama. That's one of the cases.
I didn't hear him mention Asiama specifically. But I'm referencing the cases you referred to as frivolous. And I'm saying that those cases we are referring to as frivolous here and now were cases that threatened the very foundation of the financial sector of this country. Those savings and loans and banks spent the depositors' money, whether they spent it in the right way or not, the monies were depleted. Then the Bank of Ghana came in and gave most of them a bailout. You know the countries that the banks that received the bailout and the amounts that went into it. That bailout was also depleted. If you mention Asiama, then that is where Asiama, somebody like Asiama came in. Because
Asiama was being charged
was supposed to be in charge of...
Okay, good.
To supervise, right?
Okay.
He was the deputy in charge of, but that is not what we are discussing. I'm targeting where he said those cases were frivolous.
No, what we're discussing is where he fell short. That's also,
but what I'm saying
that also will be very important to this.
That's where we are now. That's where we've got into. That somebody like Asiama was supposed to provide supervision. The directive, that was his role. And I have always said that I am not challenging his role because he's not been convicted yet anyway. Before they filed the withdrawal or the nollie prosecutor, I don't know which one they filed in the case of Asiama. But I listened to the Attorney General who said they had closed their case, right? So the case had to be withdrawn by the current Attorney General. That's where I brought in social justice. This is something that affected the people of Ghana. Maybe, I'm saying maybe, his negligence would have occasioned this. I'm saying maybe because we didn't have a judgment from from the court before it was cancelled. But if his action or inaction affected this country to the extent that the financial sector was affected, why don't we let the case run its course? That's what the argument I have heard people make. That the case had been closed by the prosecution. Why don't you help the courts to make a decision? Why don't we push for a decision to be made? And then we called him off, canceled the case. So we, the people, in whom the power of this country reside, we have been thrown away. We don't know what happened, whether actually the offense that he was charged as committing, he actually committed it or not, whether he did his work right or not. The thing has been cancelled by the state. And the Honorable Amaliba is sitting here telling us that the Attorney General does not owe us any explanation. Yes, he doesn't. But the interest of the state is at stake here. His interest is at stake. My interest is at stake. But we say we don't care. This is the party that preached probity, accountability, and social justice. And people forget that this statement, this short, brief statement, ended people's lives because they were to account. They had to account. And we say that the people must have justice. The people. In this case, your nollie prosecutions and withdrawals, do you believe the people of Ghana have justice? Because the Attorney General has power. He can use that power anytime he likes. So he used it. This is the same party
So let's just
a month ago or 2 months ago or 3 months ago within this campaigning period was shouting clearing agent. I thought they would do the reset and the reset will be different. So we won't have a clearing agent.
So
but now look at the people who have been charged already are being cleared. And now somebody who has been accused and the person says, oh, at the accusation level that he hasn't been charged yet, when they say, oh, he hasn't done much, he said, no, he's a clearing agent.
Okay.
But the one in court, that there are cases against that are pursuing, the cases that are being pursued, the people are left behind, allowed to go, and we, the people, in whom the sovereignty of this state resides, those people don't know whether actually these people were accused correctly or accused wrongly.
Can I have, producers, can I have the infographic that has the reasons for dropping of the cases?
Exactly.
I want to do
because he's
some
going around.
juxtaposing.
But
so this is for reason one, ethical and professional considerations. Dr. Yeni explained that he could not, in good conscience, continue prosecuting cases in which he had previously been involved in as defense lawyer. Specifically, he cited a case of Republic of Ghana versus Cassie Aloso-Forsim and another Republic versus Ofoswampofo. Okay, move to the next one. Defective charges. The Attorney General highlighted that some charges were fundamentally flawed and lacked the precision required under the criminal law. For instance, in the case of the Republic versus Collins Dauda and others, the prosecution failed to account for the value of the Saglemi housing project, which was constructed using part of the funds in question. Let's go to the next one. So we have defective charges, and then we have insufficient evidence. Dr. Yeni noted that in several cases, the evidence presented by the prosecution was insufficient to secure a conviction. He cited the case of the Public versus Stephen Opuni, which we all know, I mean, was discussed many times on this platform. We all know how that case went. And another, and then also we have, the next one is what?
Conduct of judges.
Okay, judicial conduct and fair trial concerns. Now, if you look at these reasons, we have transparency and accountability. Now, let's, situate it into Dr. Siama's case, because that's what we're handling now. He was faced with the charges, alongside with Dr. Kwamna Dufo, over alleged dishonest spending of funds belonging to customers and the investors of the defunct Unibank Ghana Limited. And I hope you're listening.
I'm listening attentively.
The case was one part of government's 2017-2018 banking sector cleanup during a Unibank and UT Bank were declared insolvent and collapsed. Dr. Etema was charged with one, breach of section 46H of the Bank of Ghana Act 2022, Act 612, breach of section 46A of the Bank of Ghana Act Amendment Act 2016, Act 918, and causing financial loss to the state. He pleaded not guilty for both counts and was granted bail by the Accra Circuit Court. Please, these charges, and with the reasons the Attorney General stated, how was the prosecutor going to prove that he has been dishonest and spent funds belonging to customers of investors of defunct Unibank Ghana Limited? How are you going to prove that?
So let me read what Godfrey Dami also said in respect of this particular case. I'll cut the rest. And he said, let me state for the record that to the best of my knowledge, no such memorandum. This is responding to where he said they had requested for this case to be dropped before Dr. Ayeni, came to office. And this is what he said. I do not recall receiving any such memo from the state attorneys recommending the withdrawal of charges against Johnson Pandit Siama. I challenge Dr. Ayeni to produce such a memo for the examination of the public, as he has touted same to the public at a press conference as the basis for his plunged actions. This is what he is saying. And he has challenged him to produce this document. And you and I are here. Our social media portals haven't gone off, and I haven't seen that memo yet. Secondly, I was addressing this issue. He mentioned further that we went for a loan of $200 million from Credit Suisse, right? To build 5,000 houses. 200 million USD was disbursed to us, a country called Ghana. It was to build 5,000 houses. We built 1,412 houses. That's according to Conf. Not 5,000. The 5,412. There's not even a single room, like one room completed and habitable. And the $200 million is supposed to have been spent. And such a person has been put before court. That money, we had a 5-year moratorium, right? So that money, as we speak, is part of the monies that this country is supposed to be paying. Unfortunately, we cannot occupy one building. And such a person...
But you refuse to continue.
His case has been cancelled.
You refuse to continue
by the Honorable AG, that it is frivolous. That the frivolous is, I'm quoting him, frivolous for we the people of Ghana, asking the person who used our name to collect 200 million USD and doesn't have one room to show for it. It's frivolous.
How was it so difficult
to
get your evidence and proof to court and make this case a fast track?
I have document. In fact,
because
I did some research on this. The documentation available to me that AG may have more information than I have. He is quoting 1,000.
Yes, which is what surprises
but
some
I
of
am
us.
Telling you that.
Which is what surprises some of us, that he had so much information yet could not prove to the court over 8 period
Annie,
of
you
time,
know
8
cases
years
in
period
Ghana,
of time.
the way cases run in Ghana, he is a lawyer, I am not. But you know that there are cases in these courts. And the delay tactics was played by him. And that one too was mentioned. I'm looking for that one to read to you. Was mentioned by the former Attorney General.
Oh, okay.
He said that they go to court today. Somebody brings something. They go to Supreme Court for some interpretation.
And that is wrong.
They come back. It's not wrong. So don't come and blame him.
Why do you say
you are not supposed to blame the AG when you have certain rights that you have exhibited. You have used those rights to delay the case for 4 years. Annie, let me land on this. So if you used all the antics up your sleeves to delay the case till your government came to power, so that you will have the knowledge prosecutors and the withdrawals, why are you blaming the former AG? Because he was prosecuting his case. But it is not wrong for you also to come and say that I want this judge changed. I want this, I want that. You have that right under the law. And you exploited it. And you are blaming him. Should he have stopped the defense lawyers from exploiting these avenues that are available to them? Is that what you are telling me? But you are a lawyer. You have the right to use it. You used it and you dragged the case for only God knows how many years. And you have the right to do that. So why are you blaming him? That's the question I'm asking. Look, Annie, the former AG had explained almost every single accusation that the current AG has leveled against him. He came back to explain. And in all the cases, he dared him to provide counter evidence. We haven't seen one. We can read them.
So was it not
one
true?
After the other. So what we are saying is, I am a Ghanaian. I'm a taxpayer. If I don't pay my tax, I would have been in trouble by now.
Was it not true?
So if you use my name to take money, you mentioned Jack, but let's go back there. I said I am not interested in the Honorable Finance Minister and their involvement. If somebody does something and is taken to prison or whatever punishment there is for the person, it doesn't bring the money back. But I am interested in anybody coming to tell me that we requested for how many ambulances? 20? Those 20 ambulances that we have actually spent money on, these are the ambulances. If Ernest is sick, Ernest, this ambulance will take me to the hospital. That is what the ordinary Ghanaian wants. I have always said this. I'm not interested in whether Honorable has his V8 or here. The ordinary woman on the street doesn't care. But when he goes to the hospital, there should be medicine for him. If he is sick, the ambulance should take him. Where are the ambulances? And you call it frivolous. That's the problem I have. But I believe that between us as Ghanaians, we should be able to sit down and say that, oh, okay, if the current governor of the Bank of Ghana should have done something to stop the bailout that we gave to the banks from being depleted or being misused, or I don't want to use any word, misappropriated or whatever, by the banks who received those monies. The directive that the then deputy governor knew was that when you give the money to the banks, put somebody there. When the IMF gives us their money, they put people here. In fact, they are always on our neck. As of last week, they were here. Right? So they give you their money. They put somebody there to ensure that whatever you will do so that the money will come back is done. The governor, the deputy governor then, whose responsibility it was to do that, did not do it. So somebody said that for you, being negligent about your duty, it has caused us to lose the money we gave to the banks as bailout. What is wrong with this? That's why I said, for the ordinary mind like mine, I believe we have a case. We have a case to ask Collins that where is the 200 million that you wanted to build 5,000 houses with? What happened? We have a point to ask him to come and answer. Mr. Jakpa and his team, you received so much. You received some 2 million. You received this, you received that. You have to give us ambulances. Where is our ambulances? I have the right to ask. That is what the NDC has pushed for, social justice. The people of Ghana must be treated, you must be fair to us as a people. Now, he doesn't, let me tell you why he came to organize the press conference, the AG. He has breached the clearing agent tag. This is not law. It's his measure. The NDC's measure of treating cases like this. He himself, the
clearing
measure,
agent tag?
Yes. Who brought it? Until then.
The Attorney General?
Yes, he is NDC.
So the Attorney General is a clearing agent?
No, does he have power to be clearing agent like he's claiming? He doesn't have power to be clearing agent. You know why?
So who cleared them?
Somebody is his boss, and he cannot
make
that.
He tried
to absolve the president from it, and he's claiming that it's my decision. Are you sure?
But you'll be unfair to President Mahama when you do this.
In the past,
because he did not clear anybody.
I asked. You were not hosting the case.
You asked Randy.
She was not hosting the show that day, so I forgive her. I asked a similar question. People died in Techima. Did you see President Akufo-Addo with an AK-47 in Techima?
He's the commander-in-chief of Ghana Armed Forces.
I am coming. The fact that you are the commander-in-chief of the Ghana Armed Forces, did you see him with an AK-47, a bazooka, or any gun there?
Oh, then we're going to go round and round because there's an example I want to cite now.
Who was deemed,
but I think it would be unfair on the person if I even cite it.
Who was deemed to be the most wicked human being ever created in Ghana here? Because some military men were deployed to go and maintain law and order or whatever, and something happened there. So I asked this question that day. 9 people died in Obuasi, 2 died in Takwa, and some other places. Would it be fair for me to say His Excellency John Dramani Mahama murdered 9 people in Obuasi and 2 people in Takwa and something? Would it be fair? But that was what they did to Akufo-Addo. I'm not defending Akufo-Addo here. But what I'm saying is, when you are setting the standard, be ready. If you set your standard, be ready to live by it. So these are cases in court.
You are just going around the point.
And if somebody says somebody's report, let me laugh. You see, I don't want the program. I don't want the show. Akufo-Addo wrote a letter to clear who? Cecilia Dapa is what they will say.
That's the kind of thing we are talking about.
Do you remember what he said about
I wish Cecilia Dapa.
Do you remember what he said about the visa racketeering? What did he say?
So, wait. You are bringing yourself.
I'm not bringing myself. I'm asking you a question.
Wait. Somebody is a minister under Akufo-Addo. So, in the discharge of his duties, I am assuming without admitting and speaking, I don't want to believe that it's Pius. If Pius took an action, and by that action, there were excesses, the people went abroad and ran away, right?
And then
the people ran away.
What did the president say?
And we came back and said that Akufo-Addo's appointee did that. Maybe, just maybe, Pius did not have control when the people arrived there and they ran away. It always happens. It's been happening in this country. The people ran away. And you held Pius responsible. Fine. But you extended it to the president and said, because the president said, oh, maybe Pius did not tell them to run away. But bad character, something else. So they left. Then you said Akufo-Addo is a clearing agent. When he was saying you are accusing his appointee wrongly. And I am saying that if Aine is telling the people, let me land. I'm landing. If Aine is telling the people of Ghana that he didn't tell the president.
Since we're being very specific with issues, please let's be true to the facts. The president said something specific to the issue of the visa racketeering. It was clear that persons who were taken out of the country were not journalists. Was that not part of the facts?
So go ahead.
So did he do something wrong or he didn't do anything wrong?
Wait.
First of all, his review of the persons he took along as journalists was wrong.
So wait.
So it's not just about the people bolting away. It's the fact that you carried people who were not journalists.
What I'm saying is, so he had an appointee. The appointee took an action.
It is about the president's comments and letters he writes. It's not about the appointee's conduct. Can you understand how the clearing agent came? When you write a love letter and say that, I hope that you'll be cleared. I hope that you'll be cleared. That is the clearing agent nature.
No. As we sit here, somebody comes to say the lawyer Amaliba has stolen my money. I didn't have evidence.
I have to go to the police.
I knowing the lawyer Amaliba,
let the police,
he's not
let the police say no.
So I will say, oh, it's my prayer that this allegation against you is false. And you are saying that me by saying that argument, your accusation should be false. I have cleared it.
Yes.
All right, let's take a break.
Who are you? Who are you? Charlie, I'll be you from the future. Who doesn't sleep on that slice of bread you call mattress anymore? Don some slippers, then follow me. You didn't spot the mattress we did the front there. Yeah? That'd be the mattress where the dead for me. Wait, what are you doing? Wow! No damage at all. Not only durable, but also super comfortable. Come on, try it.
Nothing day like Ash Foam. Enjoy full body support and unparalleled comfort for a restful sleep.
Don't forget your keys.
Get the premium sleep experience with mattresses from Ash Foam. Visit any of our showrooms nationwide or at ashfoam.com.
Customer. Adana, who say?
Malaria been actually me, man. No more man, so still.
One give us.
Give us a solid.
Yeah, sorry. What rest of so give us here and turn down.
But over that so. But for me to give us the and turn down.
Give us about me, sir.
Me patron the and turn down.
Customer. Give us a tonto now. Pa.
Onuya kayo, oba wa fa furo nom. De o ma no bonu fo nom. Akwada wa ni mfie dumie no ono nso nom.
This is Coastal Park, a well-demarcated gated community carved out to host your residential and commercial properties. With a minimum of 40,000 Ghana cedis, you too can own a piece of the serene site.
It's just 50 minutes drive from the Central University College, as well as just some 5 minutes drive from the Ningo Senior High School. More so, just in case you live somewhere in Adam and you want to take that excursion to many of those areas along the Volta estuary, this is the right property for you to invest in.
Great news from Estate Masters Limited. We're running a 10% discount promo on all sites to celebrate our 10th anniversary. Join in the celebration by becoming an Estate Master. Enjoy benefits such as free site visits throughout the duration, free indenture, and free site plan. Contact us for more information. Remember, T's and C's apply. Estate Masters Limited, your most preferred estate partner.
You the answer to my prayer. You're with me everywhere. You're my angel, miracle. You're all I need tonight. Give me shelter from the rain. You breathe life in me again. You're my angel, miracle. You're all I need to know tonight.
Welcome back to the program. It's still Good Morning Ghana, and someone says, Danny, the case has no basis in law. It was political persecution and not prosecution. The proper chief clearing agent is the former president who wrote sweetheart letters to the former minister, sanitation minister. David A. dissented in, but Chumbuafo has sent a message. The message he has sent, I can't read on air. Yes. Kojo has a new appointment. It escaped me. I'll look for it. But the message he sent, to be honest, I'm not going to read it. I'm just letting you know on air, I will read it. This one says that Attorney General Ayeni's decision to drop high-profile cases is unjustifiable. The previous administration's failure to secure convictions doesn't excuse Ayeni to move on free these individuals. The NDC government's softness on corruption is appalling. Ayeni's actions betray Ghana's trust and undermine justice from citizens. Francis, you sent that in. Okay, so, what do you want to say? 1 minute, Land.
Just 2 minutes.
1 minute.
So what I was saying is that the people who made us lose huge sums of money, the state is telling us that he's not interested. You are saying we should be interested in somebody who facilitated the visa. I am a Ghanaian. And I want the money. I prefer we have the money. And this banking sector thing, let me tell you, I've said it on several platforms, that it is properly orchestrated and implemented. Go and read, and everybody, I've said this on several platforms, go and read this book by William K. Black, which is The Best Way to Rob a Bank is to Own One. And this book came after this same William K. Black investigated the SNL challenge in the US. And go and see, compare the two, what happened in Ghana to what happened in the US. And he's telling you that it was business people who colluded with politicians to rob the state. That's exactly what happened. If that is not it, why is it that in a case, in a very high-profile case like this, that the state is purported to have lost billions of Ghana cedis? The state is saying, I'm not interested. And therefore,
which case are you talking about?
I mean, all the cases of the banks, and all the cases of Sagleme, and all the cases of we losing millions of dollars on.
Let me tell you.
This is what brought the case. Honorable, please, can you allow me to speak? So that I am saying that the state has lost money, and the state comes back in the person of Dominic Ayeni to come and tell us that the state, we the people, we are no more interested. And I say I disagree. And Godfrey Dami disagrees. And the ordinary man on the street disagrees that we should lose so much money and say we are not interested. I don't believe so.
Okay. The property abroad was not bought by Dr. Johnson Isiama, but rather by Pastor Mensah Otabil, though his bank, which was a shareholder, was never prosecuted. Prince is the one that sent that in. Okay, so he says that NS wants to put Pastor Mensah Otabil in trouble.
Oh, why?
He said, you are putting me in trouble. Because I'm an ICGC member. Anyway.
I am a member of the ICGC
Holy
Ghost Temple in Adenta.
Okay.
What I'm saying is, this is the state. What are we interested in? The NDC has told us they want to recover the loot. We know where the loot went to. These ones are already in court, and he's cancelling it. I am repeating this for a millionth time. Why are you not interested in recovering the loot?
One, because there's a memo that says that case must be dropped. And he came and
says who? Who?
Oh,
says the people of Ghana. Says somebody like me and you. Okay. Do you believe we should lose the money or we should recover the loot?
Because there is that memo. He says that pursuing it will be frivolous.
Why?
Why? A memo says that you can't prove your case.
Explain to the Ghanaian why somebody is holding $200 million that he took in my name cannot be proven in court. So I am holding the person. Then the Attorney General should leave office. Because if the Attorney General cannot prove to the people.
Yesterday, I was told that as a lawyer, when they go to court, you also don't want to look stupid and embarrassed. I mean, the lawyer say maybe he can tell.
So
they say that if you go to court,
maybe
he didn't mind.
He didn't care.
Maybe he didn't mind.
This is Godfrey Dami who didn't care whether he was.
You didn't listen to my presentation. I said, me as a street boy want to see the ambulance. Where is it? Me as a street boy want to see Sagleme building. Where is it?
The ambulance.
Me as a street boy.
The suppliers of the ambulance told you.
They shouldn't tell me.
No,
I want to
they
see
told you because you are the one who wants to see. They told you that they want to pay back your money to you.
No, we don't want money. We want ambulance.
Oh, they want to take the ambulance away and give you money.
The reason why he doesn't want me to speak is that the reason why he wouldn't want me to speak is that the ambulance arrived here when 3 years before they left office.
Yes.
Started coming.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Why is it that
the parts of the ambulances came?
So
and then what happened to it?
It took more than a year.
The parts came.
You refused to take them. The trotro arrived in Ghana, and then the trotro stayed for over a year. Then the parts arrived.
And
then when the parts arrived, they were at the harbour.
And you refused to take them.
Who refused?
Your government.
You see, that's the problem.
Your government.
The government never refused to because you the person who ordered it.
We were not government.
You didn't order it directly to government. You ordered it through an agent. And your agent says the thing is at the harbour. But your agent is not there.
But government is a continuum.
So your government cannot go for them.
The agent is there. The agent should have brought the equipment. So you see, I am not interested. I want to see ambulance. I want to see a Sagleme building. I want to see this. They are not there.
They are there. Sagleme is there.
The Attorney General, who is representing me, the ordinary man on the street, I am asking him, if you say you are no more interested, and according to Amaliba, it is frivolous, then where is the money?
Where are the ambulances?
You see, when
Where
they talk
are
about
the
an
things that
ordinary
the
Ghanaian,
banking sector money? You said you
it's
took
not
money
you
from the people
who is tainted.
Where is it?
The ordinary Ghanaian is not you who is tainted. Who is jaundiced? You are jaundiced. So the ordinary Ghanaian doesn't include you.
The ordinary Ghanaian
You are-
who is
you,
going
you,
to
you,
Ablao, who is going
you.
to Dama village there, will
So-
pass through Saglevin.
Okay.
And he will see
Okay,
that the buildings are in the bush.
Right, a quick
That's
one.
the ordinary
Okay,
Ghanaian.
let's do this
You
one
could have
before
given
we,
those
we
buildings
wrap up.
to ministries in departments to complete them and be there.
Windowless.
What is
No
windowless? They will
nothing.
complete and be there. You've even caused financial loss to the state by allowing them to the vagaries
The
of the
one who
weather.
was given 200 million didn't cause financial loss. The one who said, go and bring the 200
President
million. let's finish it.
President Mahama directs Ministry of Finance to settle DDEP coupons and build debt buffers through sinking fund. Now, this is a statement that came from the Office of the Presidency yesterday. So it says, following a directive from President John Dramani Mahama, the Ministry of Finance has today, 17th of February 2025, honored the payment in cash coupon of 6.81 billion Ghana cedis to all domestic debt exchange program bondholders. Government has also honored the payment in kind portion of 3.46 billion Ghana cedis deposited into the respective bondholder securities account in line with the DDEP memorandum. Additionally, government has also paid into the debt service recovery CD account, that's a sinking fund, an amount of 9.7 billion Ghana cedis as buffer for the fifth DDEP coupon that will fall due in July and August 2025. Now, that's a good one that must be noted. You need the accruement of some amount of money, some fund, to take care of this situation. President Mahama is committed to the government honoring all obligations under the DDEP through the 2025 budget statement. Government will announce further measures that will help to restore market confidence in the economy, prioritize spending, and improve transparency and accountability in public finances. Ultimately, government seeks to restore fiscal prudence while ensuring value for every peso spent. Despite the challenging economy that was bequeathed by the previous administration, government is determined to bring back a stable city, control spiraling inflation, and create jobs for the teeming youth of the country. It was signed by Felix Kwachu Ofosu MP, spokesperson to the president, and also Minister of Government Communications. All right. Now, let me just give you a brief of what we saw. Lawyers Evans, Amanko, I've seen your message. I'll read it later. But is he your friend, Enes? So, the former Minister for Finance, I'm not talking about Kenneth Furiata, I'm talking about Dr. Amin Adam. He also captured something on his Facebook. Remember, he's outside the country with the former flag bearer of the NPP, Dr. Baumia. It says that the NDC government has announced that the president has directed the Minister of Finance to honor coupon payments to DDEP holders. As reported in the announcement, this will be the fourth coupon payment, which is due on Tuesday, 18th of February 2025, which is today. This means the previous NPP government honored 3 previous payments, both in payment in cash, and the payment in cash is what's captured in PIC, and payment in kind, PIK. Between August 2023 and December 2024, the NPP government paid a total of 17.25 billion Ghana cedis PIC and 9.77 billion cedis in PIK bondholders. Also, individuals who did not tender their bonds were paid coupons amounting to 505.17 or 17 million Ghana cedis at various times between 2023 and 2024, in line with the MOU signed between the government and the coalition of individual bondholders. Since the restructuring of domestic debt, the previous government has not defaulted in coupons. Buffers were also built in the debt reserves account to support upcoming debt service obligations, such as a fourth coupon payment. The breakdown of the payment is as follows. First payment, August 2023, total payment 8.5 billion Ghana cedis. PIC, that is payment in cash, is 5.42 billion cedis, and PIK deposit is 3.13 billion cedis. Second payment, February 2024, total payment 9.11 billion. PIC makes up 5.85 billion cedis, and then PIK deposit is 3.27 billion. And the third payment is August 2024, total payments 9.35 billion cedis. The PIC, that's payment in cash, is 5.98 billion, and then PIK deposit is 3.38 billion Ghana cedis. Ernest, I'll start with you this time. This clarity or additional information, was it necessary?
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
In fact, this is what the public has to understand. This payment would have been normal and ordinary because we've been paying these monies, and until recently, nobody have been hearing of what's going on. In fact, I want to believe that the NDC did not even know we were paying these monies because it was huge during the electioneering campaign. Where up until I think last Monday, that was yesterday, the NDC is still saying that the NPP sent money out and we took people's money and people are dying and all that, as though since the DDEP took off, we started the DDEP, we've not paid anything to anybody. So when this release came, their communicators and everybody went to town with all the noise about it. That's what brought this clarification. So if you don't understand why anybody should bring this clarification, this is where it came from. When the noise started yesterday about they paying and we are not paying, then the former finance minister came to say that no, that's not the issue. Since 2023, we've never defaulted. After the DDEP, the government had kept all the promises to pay all the monies that were due. So even those ones that were not due, when the money becomes available, they make provision, and that's where those ones that they were putting into the fund, so that when the payment is due, we can fall on it. So it's nothing new that the government only came to meet, and the government had no option but to just continue what was already going on. Like you just said, government is a continuum. The finance minister arrives at the finance ministry, and there is a program that is paying off all DDEP I don't want to call them victims, but everybody who had the haircut, there's a program that is paying them as promised in the bonds that they are holding, and is being met. And this being the fourth one, if you read the statement well, you realize that he made it clear that this is the fourth one, and 3 of them have been paid already. You just read. In 2023, we paid the 8.55 billion that was due. In 2024, we did the PIC was 5.42, and then the PIK was 3.13. The 2024, the same payments were made. 2025, the total payment was 9.35 billion. So if you look at all the payments that's been made, you realize that the 6 points.
That's for 2024.
Yes, the 6 points.
So we have 2 payments in 2024.
We have made, yes, we've made 3 payments already. As they fall due, and this year too, we will have 2 payments. The one that we are talking about, and in July another one will be due. So it's being paid. So it's not extraordinary.
He said that buffers were also built in debt reserve accounts to support upcoming debt service.
That's what I just referenced.
But President Mahama is saying that he has to set up the sinking fund again.
I said that is what occasioned some clarification from the former finance.
No, but my question is, if we built buffers and they are there generating funds, why did President Mahama have to build
It's not generating funds. All those things that were to make provision so that whichever coupon falls due, we will have money to pay for it. So if anybody should come and say that I am now doing something new, I just told you that the program has been there. We've not defaulted once since the 2023 that we started paying these.
No, you're not answering my question.
You said he created a new thing, and I'm telling you, I don't know what he says he created because it's there. We have not defaulted on one, but he wrote it.
Yes,
his spokesperson wrote it.
And the former finance minister had also issued a statement to tell you that this might not be the whole truth. Yes, you have paid something, but it is because it has fallen due, and it is because it is following the program that is laid down already. So he shouldn't come and tell you it is something new. It's not. Then he has told you that since 2023, just repeating
so the
myself.
accounts buffers, are they short for short periods?
I'm referring, maybe you are not believing what I'm telling. So I'm going back to read in the statement.
I just want more
clarity. He said, since the restructuring of the domestic debt, the previous MPP government has not defaulted in coupons. Buffers were also built in the debt reserve account to support upcoming debt service. And reference was made here. Look at the third paragraph. Yeah. In there, he said the DDEP coupon that will fall due in July. Oh, sorry, let me go back a little. Additionally, government has also paid into the debt service recovery. That debt service recovery CD account already exists.
Okay.
They are only paying
that's
money
the clarity
into it.
I actually wanted.
So don't let anybody deceive you that this is new. And that's why I'm telling you that this explanation was occasioned by my brother and his team that, oh, this is novel. And he's saying it's not novel, it's not new. I have been paying. Since I promised I will pay, I have been paying, and you only came to continue what is already there. There's nothing new. So anybody listening to us shouldn't think that, oh, NDC has come and they are now paying. We have started paying already, according to the plan that was laid down before they came.
Okay, because we've had a lot of issues with these groups who are still complaining to us. I think I'll make reference to some of them, but when I get there.
I think we will need clarification on this buffer.
Yes, the buffer,
account
exactly.
And then the sinking fund. I think the Minister of Finance should come and clear it, whether it was true.
If it's the same thing.
It is true that, if it's the same thing they are talking about, or that under the MPP there was a buffer and now we are establishing a sinking fund. We need clarification on this. But did we need to even come to this point? If my brother, what is his name?
Ernest.
No, not you.
Amin
Adam. Yeah. Thought that this statement of his would have received some advantage, and that he was doing this to ensure that the MPP gains advantage. Then he has communicated wrongly, because we didn't even need to get to this point where we have DDEP. We didn't need.
I knew that's where you would go.
Your mismanagement of the economy brought us to this, and you are saying that people are receiving their monies. Some died. Come on.
And they died because they are.
Yes, because they are. Yeah, you don't know that.
There's an autopsy report to prove that
you don't know
died
that
because he didn't.
Oh, why? Kama himself came out to say that the DDP had affected him so much that he couldn't even raise 1,000 cedis to buy a book.
To buy a book.
Look, the thing is a serious matter. Stop doing that.
That's his opinion.
What is opinion? The man is suffering.
No. I am saying that he might have been worried. Look. You see, you don't force me to do politics with it. I have never done that. So people lost better monies and they didn't die.
What I
what I'm saying is, I can. If you want me to push me there, I'll go there. Don't push me there.
No, Ernest.
So what I'm saying is, it may be that I am sick.
Sorry, Ernest. I think you shouldn't repeat that.
Exactly what I didn't want to do, but he's pushing me to do it.
People,
please.
Lost better money.
You see, when he's a lawyer, he that comes to equity must come with clean hands. You have dirty hands. And you are saying that. I am saying that
the DDEP.
Look, I have a friend. I have MPP.
Will you let me make my point?
NDC people.
Will you make this my time now?
DDEP would have contributed to the negativities that the NPP has experienced. So we are very careful when we are communicating. But be careful what you say.
Are you saying that the old ladies who were picketing at the Ministry of Finance and made statements that they were relying on those monies to buy medicines for their upkeep were lying?
No, it's true.
Now, the leader of that group, anytime they came back, said that somebody has died. The leader of that group.
What I'm saying is,
so
you are a lawyer, you are not a doctor, and you are telling me somebody died because he lost the money, or he died because he had a problem.
And you cannot contest that.
Oh, I am contesting it vehemently.
Your mismanagement and corruption in your administration led to these things. Now, if President Mahama comes in and is putting up this statement, it is because his administration was not the one that brought us this far. So he can afford to make a statement like this. But you, who is neck deep in the problems that these people are facing, cannot be coming with such a counter argument.
Why?
It doesn't make sense.
He says, I am paying. What is wrong with what he
Has
said?
those people said that they were not being paid?
You are saying it.
I'm saying that those people who are affected, have they said anywhere that under your administration, they never took 3 tranches? So you don't come and make those statements.
Annie, he is confusing too. He's a lawyer. So he is not speaking like a finance person.
Would you let me
I
finish
will
my
agree
statement?
with him.
When you talk, I become uneasy, but I discipline
But
myself.
you
also discipline
I
yourself.
have disciplined myself. If you have disciplined yourself.
So, this statement from the communications spokesperson is to communicate to the people of this country that even though we didn't bring you to this far, and also even though we were not involved in the negotiations, we are still committed. You see, this administration is trying to say that we are still committed to the ground rules as laid down by your government. We could have also come to say that, look, we've looked into the kitty, things are not good, we think that we want to restructure with you people. But we didn't do that. So don't say that we are bound. We could have also come to say, if we were wicked like you are, we could have also come to say, look,
these are the words
we could have also come to say that, look, this agreement was with the previous administration, but we have come to see that there's nothing in the coffers. As a result of that, can you come?
We can't honor
So
them.
you can't. How can you come for us to restructure? We didn't do that.
You didn't have that.
We didn't do that, and so
You didn't have that
because we have the people at heart. We were part of those people when they were
see the
picketing.
direction in which he's going.
And so this statement,
he wants to tell the people that they love Ghana
this
so much, but the thing is already there.
No, what you are doing is not fair.
I'm okay.
This statement is to the effect that the NDC administration is committed to the payments as they fall due. But your statement is just out of the blue, which does not address anything. And you heard this.
It addresses you. And what you are saying
You
now.
heard a comment, a question.
That
what is this statement from Amin intended to do? It doesn't make sense to me.
And I have already
It's a useless
explained. I have
statement.
answered that
It's
already.
a useless statement
That's what
because those people have already taken their money. They have used the money. They are looking for their next tranche. And this next tranche, probably they were hesitant.
They were trying to remind you and give you more information.
We don't need that.
Not him.
Maybe you
Not him.
should have added
Not
that.
him. Not him.
No, maybe you should
we
have
are to
added
cure
that.
his mischief. This statement has come in to cure the mischief he was trying to give.
I'm sure those who were affected and have to take their monies would have been apprehensive whether a new government come in, whether or not they will still be paid. And this is
Can you say the owings?
So please,
so you
don't just come out with statements. Come out with statements that are helpful, but you don't waste people's time with statements that are not helpful. It is this statement that will gladden the hearts of those who are supposed to be paid, and not your statement. Your statement will not gladden their hearts. I think that
the one that they have been receiving already.
Your economy was a very bad one. We all know about this, and that is why these people were the people who helped to vote you out. And so don't be communicating to them again. From now, leave us. We'll communicate to them. We are the government that is to communicate to them.
How he wished we will sit down and we will not respond to their propaganda, and then they will keep going. But let me say something.
But many times,
the reason why
many times they had gathered at the finance ministry and nobody came to speak
I
to
said
them, and they
the
would pick
reason
it
why
there
I
and
am
sleep there.
contesting, let me land on mine, then you can ask yours. The reason why I'm contesting what he's saying is that every one of these monies are what investments. People bought bonds. You know that when I buy a bond, it runs over a period. Those ones that fall due is not all the money we are referencing that fell due as at the time we were doing DDEP. But the DDEP is to give relief, and it is done everywhere. Ask any of your professors.
The DDEP is
not the DDEP, but if the money, if I have invested, the reason why he's saying people died because of their investment. The investment, how many people go and liquidate their investment immediately? The amount,
the profits they take, they've used
exactly.
the profits to
so he
buy
goes to
medicine.
take whatever. Very few people
and you
go
stop them
and
from
liquidate
taking
the money. The rest of the people, you go and take the profits.
But you stop them from taking the
money.
Is that why you're saying?
And then
the
money is
that
there.
people
Then the
lose
person says,
better
okay,
money?
this number of people, your money has.
But you don't know that they stop them from taking the
I
profits.
didn't have the money to pay you, so convert it into further investment. We all do it. He has done it. He knows what he's talking. The people listening to us know what we are talking about. If my dividends are due and I can reinvest it. And that's what people do. So to
No,
tell me that,
choice.
to tell me that just
So
because
leave it for the investor. You don't decide for that investor.
No, I said, you see, even in banks, the bank lends you some money, or you push some money there, please deposit or whatever. The time is due. You go and say, oh, my deposit is due. Roll it over, right? Or the bank gives you a loan. Then your business is you. Oh, wait. Your bank lends some money, and then your business is shaky.
Are you justifying? Are you justifying?
Unfortunately, I am to pay you this much. I cannot pay.
Are you justifying?
What is difficult is that individuals have invested these monies and they have programmed themselves to spend the returns on something. I agree. So the people who use it for their monies, they have invested, and the returns that are coming, that we couldn't meet it.
Do you know that people?
And I am saying that everybody who knows finance and listening to us knows that even the investment. The bonds, government bonds, the only reason why we haven't gone in this direction is that government bonds are supposed to be
listen to me.
But it's a problem. And we know, and you know.
I'll ask you.
But coming to say that you are paying it for
I will still ask you my question. Are you saying that the debt exchange program, there's nothing difficult about it, and people should stop making noise? You are the one saying it.
No, I said
that's the picture you just painted.
No, for you to come and sit here and say that, you see.
But you are explaining. Hold on. You are explaining
like that.
You are explaining, but people died.
People would have died.
People formed associations. Are you aware?
Yes.
And they told us. And they told us what accounted to the death of their members. We are not the one here churning it out.
Annie, you are not. You are making my work very difficult this morning. But let me explain. Give me 1 minute. Time yourself. 1 minute. Don't come in. I am saying that DDEP was unfortunate. We shouldn't have gotten there. But we got to a point where it is between me losing my complete total investment and me pushing it backwards and receive it at a later date. They called all these people, explained to them that we are in a crisis now. We will delay your payments. Not that we won't pay. And we will begin payment from this date.
They didn't call everybody.
Oh, the government engaged.
They didn't call everybody. Do you know how did the engagements go?
No, you didn't. I don't know whether you followed.
You didn't follow when people went to banks to get their monies and they were told to go back. You didn't follow all that.
That's not the truth. People were informed. Do you think if my investment runs
due? It is not everybody that.
If my investment is due, and I am going to maybe take whatever returns I have on that investment, and the money doesn't come, nobody will tell me.
Somebody who is one of the investors.
Nobody would tell me anything.
Somebody who is one of the investors said I should ask you.
It's uncomfortable.
Which planet are you coming from?
I'm coming from Ghana.
MPP planet.
A planet called Earth.
MPP planet.
Ghana is a country.
Do we have?
Ghana is a country on the planet called Earth.
Let's have the.
In investments, you could have lost your investment.
The wanted notice.
So.
Let's have the wanted notice. I'm sorry. Let's move on.
Okay.
Something small before we go. Let's have the wanted notice of Ken Oforiatta. It was given to us by the...
They're coming to create another problem.
Attorney General, the special prosecutor.
She's coming to create another problem.
So, you know, after all the...
Another argument.
And as I don't like what you're doing. So, after all the back and forth, right? The special prosecutor held a press conference, explained what happened. The day before, Ken Oforiatta had served a notice that his house had been raided. It was a whole debate on the floor of Parliament for almost half the day. The minority and the majority were at this issue. Yesterday, the special prosecutor went ahead to release this. He's wanted. And, you know, prior to that, he had also described him as a fugitive, which also became quite a debate on the floor of Parliament. We have just 2 minutes each.
Lawyer, explain who a fugitive is.
Lawyer, let me start with you. Let me start with you. Then Ernest will finish it up. Lawyer, let me start with
you. A fugitive is somebody who runs away from the law of a country.
Thank you.
So the question to ask is, did Ken Oforiatta run away?
Is Ken Oforiatta a fugitive?
Did Ken Oforiatta run away?
That's a question.
Yes, because the special prosecutor needs him to interrogate him, and it's not coming. And the legal process, criminal process, starts from interrogation to prosecution and conviction. So the beginning is what Oforiatta is running away from. His lawyers didn't also help him by writing such a letter to the special prosecutor. You don't write a letter that suggests that you don't know when your client is coming at all. And so everything should come to a standstill. For you, you are a special human being. Everything should come to a standstill. You need to give an indication. Oh, my client is on medical treatment, but within take or leave in a month's time, we can honor your invitation. You do that. And if by that time he's not yet in, you can still ask for extension. I have done that to the IOCO. On 2 occasions, I wrote to them. One, I even called them, and they said, oh, no problem. But if you write a letter that suggests that Ken will not come and doesn't know when he will come, it's clearly you are running away from the laws of this country. And so for me, it was right to describe him as such.
Okay.
Then also, I'm happy they have put a wanted notice on him, because I think that a lot of bad things happened under Ken when he was finance minister. Ken Oforiate's conduct as a finance minister, when we play it back, you will notice that Ken did more wrongs to this country than he did good. What is he running away from? He's not bedridden. In fact, he used to go for treatment and come back and read budget. He's capable of coming back, and then they will interrogate him. He goes back. I don't think that when Ken comes and the special prosecutor refuses to allow him to go for further treatment, I will come here and sit and support the special prosecutor.
Okay.
I think that Ken, it's in the interest of Ken to come, answer the questions, and then go back. Then we know that the process has begun. But for him to just say that he doesn't know when he's coming, is a clear indication.
Can the process continue in absentia?
Yes, but they need to exhaust all these avenues.
Okay.
Because also, if you don't exhaust all the avenues and you go to court, their lawyers can come and jettison everything and say that you didn't follow the due process, they didn't try any other means and those things. So that's why the special prosecutor must do this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Ernest.
I was looking for the letter, trying to get the letter that the doctors wrote to
OSP.
To the OSP. Then that's why I said, ask him who a fugitive is for me. He is a lawyer. Let's say we are in the studio and police come to arrest me. And I say, this is
the jurisdiction, is not studio, the jurisdiction of Ghana.
You don't worry.
You run away.
I'm giving a simple example.
No, you cannot. It's just that
I said, this is my lawyer.
No, no, you can't make that example.
And the police are talking to him, and I'm not here. They are talking to him.
You can't be a fugitive in your own country. That's the point.
What I'm saying is, the gentleman is not around. As long as I am concerned, that somebody who had eloped would be declared a fugitive. But the first letter I saw, I've forgotten the date. The second one was on the 31st of January. The third one was on the 5th. The fourth one was on the 7th. The doctor's letter was on the 7th. So between 31st and the 7th, all this communication had gone on.
Without writing when exactly he's returning?
No. The first letter said he didn't know. The second letter gave much. I was looking for the letter. I think he is a lawyer, so he should know these things by now. Gave March that they will do something by March. He's there, but he just hanged himself.
By March when?
This year, by March. That we are in February. February is ending, but within the space of 31st January to 7th, when the doctor's letter was received, the 12th, the special prosecutor comes and tells us that the guy is a fugitive. That's why I said the lawyer should explain who he is talking. He is my lawyer. He is talking to him. Okay. The special prosecutor is talking to him.
It's not. I'm talking to the president.
What I mean is, you are my lawyer, and my accusers are talking to you.
No. It's the subject matter of the criminal trial or investigation. It's not the lawyers.
But
the lawyers are not the subject matter.
Before I asked the question, I said you just hanged yourself by saying that he came back.
Who came
from Ken Oforiata came
that
back.
Was in the past.
Wait. Whether in the past, you always reference old cases in your presentations. When he was ill and he had to come and read budget, didn't you give him time? Oh, you were not in parliament. But they gave him time to come back. That's what you just referenced. And what I'm saying is, we had just between 31st and the 7th
all this communication had gone on.
And so,
on the 12th, you came and said the guy had run away.
Yes.
Funny. Me, I am not a lawyer. That's why I say ask him whether this person can be described as somebody who had eloped and he is a fugitive and he is running away from the law. And when you have whatever communication has been going on, you just came back and gave 2 days.
Prince said I should tell you that.
So what I'm saying is, look at the time you are writing.
The lawyers are not the subject matter.
Princess.
I'm not saying the lawyers should answer for him.
Hold on. So Princess, you are in church with Kenoforiata.
I am.
So I should not put you in church with Kenoforiata.
So
please don't create new problems for him.
No, I don't go to his church.
But
he's a member of the
attended ICGC.
Yes, but I go to Holy Ghost Temple.
Please, I beg you, don't disassociate.
Don't bring church matter.
This
is not church matter. I'm not different. Look, I have put it on record.
But I'm in church with him.
If any former government appointee breaks the law in any way, I support 100% that we do the right thing.
Okay.
But we will not, because a thief has entered my room, I will not catch the thief and beat him to death. That's what the special prosecutor is doing.
He's not doing that.
And I think it is wrong.
He's not doing that.
So allow him to come. I said the fact that thief has entered my room
says that, Annie, my point in dropped cases is that if MPP government has enough evidence in relation to these cases, how come they were not able to prosecute these cases for 8 years? I believe Godfrey Odame saw the embarrassment in those cases, and that is the more reason why he delayed in prosecuting the cases to avoid the imminent embarrassment. All right, I'll leave it here. Okay, I'll leave it here. I thank you, gentlemen, for your time this morning. All right, this has been Good Morning Ghana. We're back tomorrow with the show.
This is Coastal Park, a well-demarcated gated community carved out to host your residential and commercial properties with a minimum of 40,000